It's Lights Camera Jackson and welcome to LCJ Live. Today is Sunday, July 17, 2022. Hope you're doing well. We're going to get into box office and some of the big movies coming out this week and more. As always, send in your questions and your comments here on LCJ Live. Going to do some movie history with you as well, and more specifically, some box office history here. Believe it or not, and this is why, well, I've got two characters here with me. I've got Captain America because of Chris Evans being in The Gray Man, which is on Netflix Friday. I've seen it. I will talk about The Gray Man coming up. I've got Harry Potter with me as well. 11 years ago today, July 17, 2011, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 had just come out a couple days before. The box office results were released, and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 opened to $169.2 million, which at the time was the biggest opening weekend of all time. That's right, 11 years ago exactly today on a Sunday, we had the biggest opening weekend ever, $169.2 million. If we only knew where it would all go from there. Now, at that time, Harry Potter beat The Dark Knight, which had $158.4 million back in 2008 in July. It had that biggest opening weekend record for 3 years, The Dark Knight, before Harry Potter came in and said, guess what? 169.2. Harry Potter did not have the top opening weekend record for long, as The Avengers came into play back in May of 2012 with $207.4 million. So Harry Potter only had the record for about 10 months, but nonetheless, today in box office history was the new opening weekend champ in Harry Potter. David Viola, thanks for being here on LCJ Live. I covered the Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 New York City premiere back in 2011. It was the Monday, I believe, July the 11th. The stars were there. Some others were there. I talked with Rupert Grint. Melissa Joan Hart was there. Mark Sanchez was there. America Ferrera was there. Whoopi Goldberg was walking by. Seth Green was there. It was really cool. I talked with the writer as well. Really cool experience 11 years ago, being a part of what at that time would be one of the biggest movies of all time. Now, when you take a look at that Harry Potter figure, it is 17th on the list. Amazing. In 11 years, 16 movies have opened to more than what Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 opened to 11 years ago today. Whether it's most recently with Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, or others including Iron Man 3 and Star Wars and a Captain America film and more Avengers and Beauty and the Beast live-action version and the first Jurassic World and more Star Wars and, of course, the biggest Avengers Endgame with $357.1 million. But 11 years ago, it was Potter. It was Potter Mania, the finale, the grand finale. My favorite installment of the franchise. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. So that's some box office history for today. Exactly 11 years later, your champion is Thor: Love and Thunder with $46 million in its second weekend. It's at $233.3. That's about a 68% drop, which is on par with some of the other MCU movies recently, including some Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. But you dropped $97 million, $98 million in a weekend. That's big. I mean, compare that to Top Gun Maverick and compare that to some of the other movies that had such small drops in their second weekends. But Thor: Love and Thunder dropping $98 million down to 26 million. For Minions: The Rise of Gru in its third weekend, it's at 262.6, just a couple million from passing Despicable Me 3, the last in this franchise that came out in 2017. So it's going to surpass that. Will it pass the 336 of the first Minions movie in 2015? It's still got a little bit of a ways to go, and we've got DC League of Super Pets in just about 10 or 11 days, so we will see if Minions can get there. Another animated movie opened this weekend. We'll get to that here in a second. Where the Crawdads Sing. $17 million. I gotta say, better than I expected. Once upon a time, months ago, I was thinking maybe $7-8 million. Then I was this week starting to think about 12. 17 is better than I expected for that. It's produced by Reese Witherspoon and her production company, Hello Sunshine, and Sony is happy, I think, with $17 million for Where the Crawdads Sing. Top Gun Maverick, another $12 million. It just keeps adding to its gigantic total. It's at $618 million for Paramount. And then Elvis, with rounding out your top five, $7.6 million. It's at $106.2. As I wrote the other day, did not expect Elvis would make more money than the third Fantastic Beasts movie. And this Fantastic Beasts movie only made $96 million. Elvis at 106, and it's going to keep going. Will Elvis get to the $144 million that The Great Gatsby made? Baz Luhrmann's previous movie for Warner Brothers back in 2013. At this point, I'm not so sure, because 144 to 106, that's a decent distance away. It would have to have some more strong legs throughout the rest of the summer for adults as counter-programming. Maybe it can get there. It's going to be a little tough, though. But Warner Brothers, nonetheless, very happy with that. Paramount, though, they're thrilled with Top Gun, but Paws of Fury, Legend of Hank, just $6.3 million this weekend. 26-6 was the difference for Minions to Paws of Fury. Even though it's a Nickelodeon film as well, promoted on Nickelodeon and had a trailer before Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in April, which was Paramount, families not really interested in seeing this. Could it have gone to Paramount Plus? Probably, but they wanted to try to get a little money from the theaters, from families. I wish Rumble, which went to Paramount Plus last December, did get a theatrical run as well, because Rumble's a good movie, and I think it would have made more than this. It probably would have opened at least 15 and maybe more. Monster wrestling animated movie that is pretty good for families. Check it out, Rumble on Paramount Plus. $5.3 million for The Black Phone. It's up to 72. Universal, a surprise summer hit. The Black Phone is doing better than I think they expected. Jurassic World Dominion, another $5 million. It's at 359.7. It's not going to get to the 417 of the second Jurassic World. It's just not. But as long as it passes The Secret Life of Pets and Despicable Me 2, which both made 368, I think that's going to make this the third biggest Universal movie of the 21st century, behind the other two Jurassic World movies. So you will have a 1, 2, 3 of the Jurassic World franchise if it can make another $9.5 million, which I think it's going to. It may just take a little time. But Universal will try all they can to make that happen. Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, a film I wanted to like, could not love. It's just overwhelmingly fantastical and emotionally off the wall and manic, truly. With Leslie Manville in the lead role, just $1.9 million for Focus Features this weekend for Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. Rounding out your top 10 this weekend is Lightyear with $1.3 million. It's at 115.5 after 5 weeks. Significantly less than what Disney was expecting. Now, a couple other new movies open in theaters. One is the Gabby Giffords documentary, Gabby Giffords Won't Back Down. It was in 302 theaters, only made $75,000. It's a per-screen average of $248 for a movie that also had Wednesday night pay previews. So did Where the Crawdads Sing. Gabby Giffords did have Wednesday night pay previews, and it only ended up with $75,000. $200,000 just about for The Gray Man, which I will get to my thoughts in just a second. It's on Netflix this Friday. It's in a handful of theaters in the country. About $200,000 for The Gray Man. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. It was 8th last weekend, and because of 3 new wide releases, and Marcel decided not to go fully as wide as they A24 originally said, Marcel drops to 11th with $575,000. It's up to $1.7 million. 153 locations. Per-screen average is good, $3,758. It's going to be coming to more places, including near where I live, Albany, New York, this Thursday, actually. But how is the expansion going to go over the summer? Will it get back into the top 10? Will it not get back into the top 10? We'll have to see. I'm sure A24 a little surprised that it couldn't get into the top 10. It's just the way things were going and the new wide releases coming into play, but I'm sure they're hoping it gets back into there for sure. Congrats to Dean Fleischer-Camp, the director who I spoke with, who is now going to do the Lilo and Stitch live-action movie for Disney. The Gray Man. It's on Netflix this Friday. It's in select theaters now. I watched it the other night. Ryan Gosling, who reunites with Ana de Armas. They did Blade Runner 2049. Chris Evans, who reunites with Ana de Armas. They did Knives Out together. And it's this CIA manhunt action thriller. The experience itself is gray. Just boring. Uninteresting. Unoriginal. Ridiculous. Alfred Woodard's in it. Billy Bob Thornton is in it. Wasted roles. They're directed by the Russo brothers. The budget reportedly $200 million. The Russos don't want to confirm it. Maybe it was to pay everyone. Julia Butters is also in it. She was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She's got a pretty decent-sized role in this. The visuals are not great. The story isn't compelling. It's long. It's like 2:08. It's not the longest movie ever, but it felt long. Yeah. And this is supposed to be Netflix's big centerpiece summer action movie. And if this is that, ooh, it doesn't sparkle, it doesn't sizzle. There's nothing special about it. There's nothing memorable about it. A lot of petty dialogue. I want to forget this. It's a movie I think people are going to forget after they see it. They're like, what is that? This is so generic. And it's too bad, because you got big name stars. You got big name talented directors. I didn't love Cherry with Tom Holland, but obviously the Russos with the Avengers success, it's all based on the material. This doesn't work. The Gray Man. I'll have more on it this week. Whew, yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad. Now, I did watch a movie last night called My Old School. It's with Alan Cumming. I'm embargoed till tomorrow, but I can't wait to share my thoughts on this movie tomorrow, because it is quite something. All I'll say is this. Alan Cumming is in it. It is a documentary. That's really all I'm going to say, because I don't want you to know anything else going in. It's in select theaters starting this Friday, July 22nd. It's in New York. It's in LA on the 29th. It's going to more places. Don't look up anything about it. Don't. Just trust me when I tell you, just like I did. I basically saw a poster of him on it and said, all right, I'll watch this movie. I knew nothing. Blown away. Blown away by this movie. And I can get more into it starting tomorrow, but I don't want to give away what's going on in the movie. But I'll tell you, it is an experience. Spellbinding. Yeah. Trust me. My Old School. Yeah. Trust me on that. Please do. There's every year or two, whether it was Blackfish or Three Identical Strangers or some of these other documentaries that have come out in recent years, that just consistently makes you go, wow, wow, wow. Surprise, twist, shocking, revelation, one after the other in almost a steady beat. I mean, I remember coming out of Blackfish just stunned. And after watching this movie last night, I'm stunned again. My Old School. And of course, the big theatrical release this Friday, July 22nd, is Nope from Jordan Peele. It's his third movie. Get Out made $176 million for Universal in 2017. Us made $175 million for Universal in 2019. So they certainly hope that Nope will match that $176 million. Interestingly, Get Out was the third biggest movie for Universal in 2017. Us, which made $1 million less, was the biggest movie for Universal in 2019. So they clearly want to keep this relationship with Jordan Peele. See what he has to offer. Keep these movies going. Keep the momentum going. The buzz on this is high. People are starting to see it because they're interviewing him and the cast. More critics will see it this week. I'm hoping to see it soon, hopefully this week. And I hope it's good. I do. I think Get Out is fantastic. Was a little underwhelmed by Us. Hopefully, Nope is tremendous. And I hope that the trailers didn't give away everything. Because there's a lot in that last trailer. But maybe he and the studio want us to know all that, so then we're surprised by how the rest of it plays out. To me, I wouldn't have put in nearly the amount of things that are in the latest trailer for Nope that are in there. I didn't want to know certain things, but maybe I do for certain other reasons. I like that it's still mysterious and that the plots are still being kept under wraps. I mean, coming from a guy, me, who remembers when the Simpsons movie came out and they beautifully kept the secret of the plot all the way up until the night of release. It's really rare for a movie these days and in the last 15 years to pull off something like that. And these Jordan Peele movies have tried that and have been successful with that thus far, with keeping the secrets. So hopefully it's really good. Nope is out this week. Universal's having a good summer with Jurassic World and The Black Phone and Minions. Nope will continue with that. Then they've got Easter Sunday coming out August 5 and Beast coming out August 19. Both of those could do pretty well. So Universal's having a good summer. Focus Features, Downton didn't do as much as the first one, and Mrs. Harris isn't making a lot of money. So that division is not doing it quite as well as the regular Universal Pictures division. But that's where we're at. So Nope is the big movie in theaters this week. Netflix has The Gray Man, and My Old School's in select theaters. and hopefully the buzz continues on that. If I were to make a prediction of how much money Nope is going to make, I don't think it'll get to 100 million, but I do think it could get to 60, 65. 71 was the open for us. Get Out was 33. Everybody wanted to go see us, obviously, off the momentum of Get Out. Will it get to 71? I don't know. I'm not sure if 71 is too high, but maybe 60, 65. Universal will take it. No question, it has to be the number one movie next weekend. If Thor drops to, let's say, 28, Minions could still do okay next weekend. Minions could make a run at another 20. Nope has to do more than what Thor and Minions do. It has to. If it doesn't, it'll be an absolute shocker, but it has to make at least 35, 40, $50 million. It's got to do that. And we'll see if it makes more than that. And next Sunday, we'll also preview DC League of Super Pets and some of the other movies coming out on July 29th, as we are now into the second half of the month of July and the second half of the summer. Amazing. Time is flying. For more, go to Twitter at LCJ Reviews, Instagram at LightsCamJackson. The website is lights-camera-jackson.com. New LCJ Q&A podcast episode and AnimationScoop.com Q&A on Tuesday with Abe Audish, the showrunner of Bugs Bunny Builders. And more interviews, Q&As are coming at you very, very soon. I'm Lights Camera Jackson. Thank you for watching today's episode of LCJ Live. Have a good Sunday, good rest of your weekend, and I will see you next Sunday. Take care. Bye-bye.